for science, I want to start on page 134 and read that little bit that I skipped yesterday. So underneath the planet chart, we're going to start where it says each planet, right underneath it. Each planet has its own path around the sun. Some planets take longer to orbit the sun than others. The farther from the sun a planet is, the longer its orbit takes. That means the planet Mercury takes the shortest time to orbit the sun, while Neptune takes the longest time. It takes Earth about 365 days to orbit the sun. We call a planet's full orbit around the sun a year. And so that's why we say that there are 365 days in a year, here on Earth anyway. All right, so turn now back to page 136, and we're going to do the terms to remember. Because that is where we needed to have started for real today, but we had to finish up what I skipped yesterday. All right, terms to remember. Planet, a large heavenly body that orbits a star. So, in other words, the sun is a star, right? We learned that yesterday. So all of these are heavenly bodies called planets. Inner planets, the planets closest to the sun having solid surfaces. That would be Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. Habitable. Read that with me, guys. Habitable, suitable for life. Axis, the imaginary line at which Earth continually spins or rotates. All right, the planets of our solar system. A planet is a large heavenly body like our Earth that orbits a star. Do you remember what star the planets of our solar system orbit? Our star is the sun. The planets in our solar system are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. The inner planets. The first four planets closest to the sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, are often called the inner planets. They all have solid surfaces, but each was created to be unique. Mercury is the smallest planet in our solar system. It is the closest planet to the sun. Because it is so close to the sun and has almost no atmosphere, its temperatures are extreme. It can be very hot or very cold on Mercury. Mercury has almost no oxygen. So even if it had good weather, people could not live on Mercury. It takes Mercury only 88 days to orbit the sun. Why do you think that is? Very good. Mercury is closest to the sun, so its orbit takes the shortest time. Venus is between Earth and Mercury. It is the hottest and brightest planet in our solar system. Sometimes it is called Earth's twin because it is almost the same size as Earth. Turn the page. And by the way, you can see in that picture before you turn that it does look almost the same size. But look closely and you will see that it is nothing like our planet. Its thick atmosphere is made mostly of carbon dioxide and other gases. Can we breathe carbon dioxide? No. No, we need oxygen, don't we? This atmosphere traps heat from the sun. Can you imagine what 900 degrees Fahrenheit would feel like? That is about how hot Venus can be. Earth is different from all the other planets because it is habitable. It is the only planet designed for life. So what does habitable mean? It means life can live on that planet.
Suitable for life.
Yes. Earth is different from all the other planets because it is habitable. Why are you not following along with me? I'm going to show you where I'm at, and then you need to follow along. I'm going to be starting right there. Life would be impossible if the sun were any closer or farther away. Earth orbits the sun in the most perfect place. Our position in the solar system gives us the best temperatures and the right year for plant growing seasons. God also gave the earth the right atmosphere. Our atmosphere gives Earth the best weather for life. Earth is the only planet with a water cycle. It is the only planet where food grows. People, animals, and plants can live on Earth because of the way God created it. Aren't you glad God put Earth exactly where He did? As Earth orbits the sun, it spins in the way a toy top does. Imagine a rod or pole running through Earth from the North Pole to the South Pole. That is the imaginary line at which Earth continually spins. If you spin a globe, you can see how this works. We say the Earth spins or rotates on its axis. All right, we're going to stop there just for a second. So we've been looking at the globe. All right, so does our Earth really have this rod that you see in the globe? No. But if they make it a globe, they have to put it, otherwise it wouldn't have anything to spin on, would it? But imagine an imaginary rod or line through our Earth on which our Earth spins, because our Earth spins like this. As it's going around the sun, our Earth is spinning like this. Okay? So that imaginary line right through the center of the globe is called the axis. All right, let's read about Mars now. So at the bottom of page 138, that last paragraph, Mars is a planet beyond Earth. Sometimes Mars is called the red planet. That is because it is covered with rusty-colored rocks and dust. Top of the next page. Some scientists have tried to find out if life is possible on Mars, but Mars is missing all the things that make Earth habitable. There is almost no oxygen and no liquid water on Mars. It is much colder on Mars than on Earth because it is farther from the sun. If there were a water cycle on Mars, its year is still too long for plants to have the right growing season. The more we learn about Mars, the more thankful we are, the more thankful we can be that God made Earth in the way He did. True or false? The inner planets all have solid surfaces.
False.
True.
Let's go back and read it since you guys didn't pay attention as I read it. This is right underneath where it says inner planets. The first four planets closest to the sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, are often called the inner planets. They all have solid surfaces.
True.
Number 2, it takes Mercury longer to orbit the sun than Earth.
False.
Mercury is the one that's closest to the sun, so it has the shortest orbit. Venus is called Earth's twin because their atmospheres are the same.
False.
What is the same?
The
The size. They're about the same size. Number 4, Earth has the best position in the solar system.
True.
That is what makes it habitable. Okay, number 5, Mars is much hotter than Earth.
False.
It is much.
Colder.
All right, explain why we did that already. Write the letter of the correct answer. We're not going to really write it, but you're going to tell me which is the only plant designed for life or habitable. Earth.
Do you mean planet?
Do not write in that book. Why is your pencil even out? I just got through saying we're not going to write in the book. Did you hear me say we're not going to write the answers in the book? Did you hear me say that? I did. How many of you heard me say don't write in the book? Which one is the smallest planet? Mercury, very good. Which one is called the red planet?
Mars.
And which one is the brightest planet?
Venus.
Very good. All right, get those worksheets ready. Okay, we're gonna do these worksheets. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna look at it and we're gonna label it. Alright, so the very first thing you're gonna label it letter A, and this is the sun. So find where it says sun and put a little A by it at the bottom. Okay. After the sun, the very one next closest is Mercury. So letter B is going to be Mercury. Alright, Mercury. The next is Venus. So letter C is going to go by the word Venus. After Venus is Earth. So letter D is for Earth. Now it gets a little weird because the next letter we're going to write is F, but they're doing F by the next planet in the orbit pattern. So after Earth is Mars. But you're going to put letter F because there's a letter F by that one. They went out of order a little bit there. And then the next one in the orbit, they put the letter E by. Yeah. So letter F is going to be Mars, but the next one, Jupiter, is going to be letter E. They went backwards for some reason. So put an E by Jupiter. All right, after Jupiter, the next one in the orbit is Saturn. So Saturn is letter H. And then we're going to go to letter G and do Uranus. And that's going to be letter G. And the last letter is going to be I, and that is
Neptune.
So put an I by Neptune. All right, now using this chart and similar colors, I want you, like especially on Jupiter, the way it has the stripes going on, I want you to color with your colored pencils. You're going to color the planets, okay, and the sun. You could get some really fun going on by using oranges and reds and yellows and doing swirly patterns. You can have a lot of fun with this, and especially on Earth, you're going to have a lot of blue and then some greens and browns to represent the land. Don't forget Mars, a rusty red color. What's rusty red? What would you do if you only have a regular red? How could you make it look rusty red? Red and orange. A mixture of red and orange can make it look rusty red. You are tucking out. I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask you to tell me what color you have. All right. Continue working on that until you're done.